Hugging the shoreline of Apache Lake are clumps of what look like little stick villages. Whatever they are, they certainly don't look like prime fish habitat, at least not yet.
What we're building here is the Pisces pyramid, and it's a construction of 3 pallets that are built together like a teepee, and then we have 10 cement blocks that are placed on the inside for weight. And once they're all put together, we put them together with zip ties, so we don't need any extra tools to do the work out here. The last part of it is actually putting trees up against the sides of it. So the Pisces pyramids, the pallets form the structure, and just for something to anchor the trees onto, and we're using juniper trees in this case.
This is easier than growing them, isn't it? Easier than cutting them.
The Pisces that will be calling these pyramids home are the fish of Apache Lake, who have been without woody areas to hide in for some time.
This kind of replicates what you find in nature as far as standing timber or submerged timber in a lake bed. In other words, these are trees, overhead cover for the fish as well as escape cover for the little fish, so they'll be in and amongst the branches, but also actually inside the pyramids themselves because it furnishes some overhead cover for the species. You can see the lake bed here at Apache Lake is devoid of trees, brush, anything but rocks, and cover-loving fish species such as largemouth bass, smallmouth bass, black crappie, bluegill, even channel catfish love that type of habitat. In order to escape predators, the little ones, the bigger ones can actually use it as resting cover. So there's a number of reasons of why the fish use it. One of the other primary reasons for putting the habitat in the lake is that it's a great drawing place for various fish species so the anglers can get to them. This is what we're doing, is developing some honey holes, if you will, for fishermen out here at Apache Lake.
Arizona Game and Fish Department Region 6 Fisheries Program Manager Jim Warnicke and his army of volunteers are taking advantage of the fact that Salt River Project lowered the water level at Apache Lake 50 feet for inspection and maintenance of Horse Mesa Dam. This allowed the new habitats to be built on the exposed shoreline at what will be the optimum depth once the lake is refilled. Most warm water fish species occupy the water column above the thermocline, that layer of water where warm and cold water meet. This thermally mixing zone is located 22 to 25 feet below the surface of the water. A cold water zone exists below the thermocline where dissolved oxygen is rapidly depleted, so most fish avoid this area of the lake.
The reason that we're putting these Pisces pyramids and the complexes in the places that we are, it's important not just because it's a barren lake bed in this portion right here, but also that it's at the 25-foot contour line. That is, when the lake is full, this is 25 feet underwater where we are right here. And for the most part, during the warmer months of the year, our fish species that we're trying to attract to this, namely the basses, the sunfish, the crappies, the catfish, will stay at or above this level.
All right, set it at 2.67. That'll be down 25 feet.
In order to ensure the new habitats are built in just the right locations, laser sighting was used to locate and mark the 25-foot contour depth of the lake. And to make sure they stay put, GPS technology was used to mark waypoints at each habitat site. The new habitats are being built in clusters at 8 different locations around the lake that were chosen due to their topographic features that fish naturally use or inhabit, such as edge of ledges, underwater islands, and drop-offs next to underwater washes or drainage areas. The project has been one of volunteer labor and donated materials. So why would all these people want to do so much work on their day off?
To give back. This is one of our favorite lakes to come to. We've taken our kids here for years. And the smallmouth bass that was going on here, they're beautiful bass, 2-pound bass. It was a fun fishery, and it's a shame to see that they're all gone. And hopefully this will help bring them back, some habitats, place for them to grow up and become strong, healthy fish, big enough so they're not bait anymore.
These are our volunteers that we're using from bass clubs and just average sportsmen and women that really love this lake, and they want to do something, give something back to the lake, and this is a great project for them to do so. It's good fish conservation and it's fun work. I mean, it's kind of heavy work, but you get your hands dirty and get out there. We couldn't get all this work done without our volunteers.
And it's not glamorous work.
Well, we're
transferring the pallets and the blocks from the shoreline up to where they're putting the habitat in. And it's just trips back and forth and helping build the habitat. You know, I fished this lake on and off since probably 1985, 1984, somewhere around in there, and had a lot of good experiences on this lake, and it was kind of a shame when the fish kill happened last year. And so to be able to come out and help is pretty much an honor, because this is a good lake, and it's a shame what happened to it. So anything I can do to help to bring it back is, you know, I'm more than happy to do it.
Terrific. Well, show me your gloves.
Oh, this is the third day on these gloves, and they were brand new Craftsman Mechanics gloves, and the blocks are so abrasive that they've just absolutely shredded them. So, but that's okay. As long as my hands aren't too bad, that's fine.
Not only was all the labor donated, but so were the materials.
Actually, to get sponsorship and donors for the project wasn't as hard as I thought it would be. I would call up some of the bigger pallet companies in the state of Arizona, the bigger block companies such as Superlight Block. I'd tell them what I'm doing and what I had in mind, and if they might be willing to donate some of their materials to this project in the name of fish conservation. And I was surprised how many said yes, we would, and how much would you like. They were not only happy to give me the materials, but also deliver them in their semi-trucks, tractor-trailer rigs, and so forth, all the way up to Apache Lake, which for many of them is more than a 200-mile trip from the Phoenix area out to the lake and then back again. So it's several $1,000s worth of not just materials, but also delivery costs.
The juniper trees they are using came from the Young area and are courtesy of a Forest Service juniper thinning project on top of a mesa. Basically, Jim was allowed to haul off all that he wanted, and he now has almost 600 trees to complete the pyramids. So if you were an Apache Lake fish, would this look like home to you?
Makes my mouth water just looking at it. I've been looking for something in this darn lake that I could get up next to and personal, and if I was a bass, I just want to get in there and enjoy myself.
Once SRP was finished with its work on the dam, the waters began to rise back to normal levels and the Pisces pyramid slowly slipped beneath the surface. A brand new housing project in place, just waiting for its first residents to move in.
In our next story, take a look at what people are doing to make things a little better.
Once upon a time, before Stewart Mountain Dam was built and Saguaro Lake was formed, the Salt River ran free through the Valley of the Sun. But after the dam curtailed the river's regular flows in the 1930s, the Salt River bed became a neglected dumping ground in the heart of Phoenix. After being a city eyesore for many years, the Rio Salado Habitat Restoration Project was formed and began to rebuild some of the native wetlands and riparian habitats that were historically found along the Salt River.
We have been open to the public since November of 2005, so we are close to completing our second year. And it's been a project that's been 40 years in the making. We had someone with a vision who wanted to restore the Salt River to a natural riparian or river ecosystem, and we've finally been able to see the first part of that conclusion with the first two phases of the project. And we're looking forward to expanding and growing this summer. We're actually going to be going into more restoration work so the public can see hands-on, up close and personal, just how much goes into a project like this.
When the project is finished, it'll be 5 miles long and cover almost 600 acres that extend from 19th Avenue to 28th Street. Visitors can enjoy the area on a hiking and biking system that winds throughout the property. The heart of the restored area is the demonstration wetland located at Central Avenue, 1/2 mile south of Interstate 17. On this day, volunteers are picking up trash along the project area as part of National River Cleanup Day. This is the first year that Phoenix has participated in the national program, and they now plan to make it an annual event.
We actually have a wide variety of people that have joined us today, citizens who live in the local community, neighbors. We have the U.S. Marine Corps, Phoenix Clean and Beautiful, South Mountain Village Clean and Beautiful, Girl Scout troops, and just compassionate individuals who want to come out and make a difference.
Even though tons of trash were cleaned out of the project area years ago, new debris is washed into the riverbed through the city's storm drains. Volunteers and City of Phoenix staff are concentrating their efforts today on those areas. And you'd be surprised at what they find.
Bottle cap, found a tire,
One of our girls found a rubber ducky. We're having a contest who can find the most unique item. I think the rubber ducky's tops right now.
What we want people to go away with today is that there are effects beyond a single action. For instance, if someone's driving down the street and they throw a water bottle out the car window, or they pour things into their driveway and wash it down the street, it has a greater impact. It just doesn't disappear magically. We actually have 31 storm drains in the project. There's a large amount of trash and debris that it gets brought down into this riparian ecosystem. So we hope that people just take the time to think about what they're doing, help dispose of trash in a proper manner, and even reduce the amount of trash that we produce by recycling and reusing materials.
The restoring of this section of the river has gone a long way in showing residents what can be done when a community comes together to make something good happen.
What I think is interesting is that most people tell me that when they're driving up and down Central Avenue, they go over the bridge, and what was once more of a dry, dusty sort of landfill, for lack of a better term, is now a wonderful riparian ecosystem. There's ribbons of water, cottonwood trees, and it's almost like you're visiting a different state when you come down here. So I just want to have an open invitation to the public to come down and see what has been done in the Rio Salado project. It's a wonderful restoration area. There's bird watching, there's hiking, biking. It's a great place for families, wheelchair users, strollers, and it's just a great opportunity for the public to get out of the hustle and bustle of the city into a more tranquil and serene environment.
The area has become such a successful riparian habitat that Audubon, Arizona is planning to build its new education center here.
Audubon has become partners with the City of Phoenix. We feel very fortunate to be part of this whole Rio Salado project, but the City of Phoenix has leased us 4 acres on the south side of the river where we're going to build a center, and we're going to build a riparian habitat as a demonstration area and do some interpretive trails over there, and we will be the interpretive piece for the whole Rio Salado. So hopefully people can come to the Rio Salado Audubon Center, and then they can go out and enjoy it themselves and understand it a little bit more, and through understanding then love it a little bit better.
The Arizona Game and Fish Department, through their partnership with Audubon, Arizona, is going to fund the wetlands portion of the new center as a way to provide important education about this very special ecosystem.
It's only good if you're out here actively participating in it. Since we've opened in 2005, we've actually had 204 different species of birds come through here, so we know it's a wonderful habitat for the wildlife and for the bird species. But it's also just a great opportunity to come out and relax, clear your mind, maybe spend some time with the family. And we also offer a lot of ranger-guided tours and programs if you're not sure what to do or where to go. You can come out and join one of our customized programs and really see for yourself.
For more information on anything you've seen on our show, go to our website, azgfd.gov.